For some reason, some boaters just get stereotyped out in the water. Kind of like rental boater. Most of us know when we see a rental boat, we try and keep away from it. We just automatically assume they're probably a poor driver. But that's not always the case. Maybe they just didn't feel like towing to the lake on vacation and they decided to rent a boat with the family. We're going to talk a little bit about this today. Speaking of stereotyping, our boy Julian Ramirez got stereotyped into being a winner last week when he wound up winning our Drain Plug Mafia giveaway and wound up winning a Drain Plug Mafia flag. We're going to do another giveaway today. Today we're going to give away a Drain Plug Mafia tumbler. You guys know the drill by now. Really simple. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit that like button right now, and at the end of the video, leave a comment below and we will pick our favorite comment and somebody's winning a tumbler. But let's get this episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week started. As we mentioned, today we're going to talk about stereotypes. I'm not sure why in boating we do this. For whatever reason, people like to just stereotype people out on the water based on the type of vessel they're on or maybe the actions they're out there doing. Now, some of these stereotypes may be deserved. If you see somebody out there doing something strange in a strange vessel or vehicle, then you know you probably should keep away. That guy probably is up to a little bit of no good and out there having a good time, and sometimes that good time, well, can lead to a little bit of disaster. But some of the stereotypes that are given out on the water really aren't probably as deserved as you might think, and one of the most stereotyped people out there on the water is gonna be them jet ski boys. And it probably isn't as deserved as you might think. Jet skis have come a long way over the years, and it's not quite the same thing it was 10, 15, or even 20 years ago. I mean, most jet skis nowadays can run upwards of $20,000. This is not the same day back in the lake in the early 90s where you saw little 14-year-old kids out there ripping around having a good time on them. A lot of your jet skiers anymore come from a more mature group, and I'm not just talking about age. In order to afford a $20,000 vessel that's just a play toy, you're gonna have to have some responsibility about you. And actually, I own a couple jet skis on top of owning a few boats, and I do several group rides with several jet ski clubs around the country throughout the year. And what always surprises me anymore is the median age on most of these rides I go on is probably about 40 years old. So it's not quite that same young hooligan group we used to think about being out there on jet skis. It's typically a more mature group out there enjoying the ride, having a good time. But for whatever reason, jet skiers still typically get pigeonholed into that stereotype of being a more hooligan type of rider out there in the water. Somebody who likes to bend the rules a little bit, or maybe not follow the rules at all, or maybe they don't know the rules is kind of the general impression some people give of this crew. But this stereotype really isn't justified, I don't believe. Most people that you're going to meet out there on the water on a jet ski do know what they're doing, stay in control, and out there really just relaxing, enjoying the ride. But a few bad apples kind of spoil it for everybody. But the true reality is, all the clips I get sent throughout a week, I see as many boaters doing these same kind of things as I do jet skiers. Another boater who typically gets pigeonholed into a stereotype is going to be the old pontoon boys. That's right, these guys want to be a full send guy, but went with a pontoon instead.
Full send it, nigga! Full send it! Full send it! Full send it, people are the best in it.
I gotta agree with this crew, full send it people are the best, but for whatever reason, pontoon guy, I just can't figure this one out. Let me know in the comments below how you feel pontoon guy is stereotyped, but this is how I see it in my eyes. Almost everybody I've ever talked to that owns a pontoon really wants to be a full send guy. They want a fast boat, but for some reason they chose the Chevy Astrovan of the water. Now an Astrovan might be a little bit of a stretch, I mean more like a Chrysler Pacifica maybe, because some of these things are pretty loaded up anymore. But it's very strange. Almost every person I've ever talked to that owns a pontoon boat actually wants a different boat. And I can't figure out how they wound up with a pontoon boat when their wants and needs really weren't fit into that pontoon category. Maybe it was a forced upon them decision made by the family.
Boneheaded Boaters of the Week, trying to surf off a pontoon boat.
And anytime I talk to a pontoon owner about why they chose the pontoon boat, then they always justify it like somebody justifying buying a minivan, and they say the boat can do everything okay. Now, of course, I am stereotyping pontoon boats here, and that really isn't fair because pontoons do really have their place in the world. If you're one of those guys who just wants to go out there, chill with 8 to 10 people, hang out at the sandbar, and have a good time, a pontoon boat is probably your gig. And they're also great starter boats, a large, easy-to-manage platform that many people aren't intimidated to get out there and get started with. They're a little bit slower and easier to handle, and yes, somebody's in the comments right now typing about how their pontoon boat's got twin Merc 450s on the back of it, and it's not slow, but you know what? Really think about it. If that's your boat, did you really want a pontoon? But in all honesty, pontoons really are great boats and really good time for people who like to get out there on the water. Heck, most rental companies will tell you most people, once they rent a pontoon, they actually won't go back to another type of boat. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit me up on Facebook or Instagram and let me know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like Vashti J3, AJ Inman, Arthur Abella Danger, Boat Launch Local, Colleen Marshall, David Scannell, Jeff DeLuca, JKZ, Lily's Dad, Max Chick City, Ryder Gray, Steve Peterson, and William Beat did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.